Hey y'all, I'm Wilson. Welcome to my little shop. I have been tied up with a little job I've been working on for the last couple of weeks here, and I have really been slacking on my videos, but I'm fixing to get back at it tonight. I got some doors I got to get put together soon. I'm getting all tongue-tied here. Y'all excuse me. It is late at night, but anyway, I got some doors I got to get put together soon. And I'm going to show y'all an old school trick, how to clamp them up without using clamps. And normally this is what I use. This is my little setup. Put the door in there, holds it square, and then you put your clamps on it, clamp it, shoot it, and you're done with it. I'm going to show y'all a way to do that without clamps. Kind of an old school trick, just something fun. Let me set y'all up here on my little custom camera stand. There we go. Like I say, I'm building doors, but this trick can be used. This trick can be used with just about anything you need to clamp up. It's not going to put a whole lot of clamping force to it, but most times you don't really have to put a whole lot of force into anything. So we're going to get it set up. I got my door sitting right here. That's the one I'm going to show you. I'm just going to do a dry fit. I'm going to set this thing up and do a dry fit and just show you how it works. And what we're going to start with, I've got my table saw here, so I'm going to use a piece of 1/4 inch. I'll use that. That'll keep the glue off my table saw. And I'm going to put an L on it. Now I know my board's square. I know my piece of 1/4 inch here is square, so I'm just going to flush that up with the edge. And this is actually screwing all the way through and screwing it into my table there. So like I say, we're just flushing that up, screwing it off. We're going to make an L. Pretty much just what I got here. I could have used this, but I didn't want to put a whole bunch of screw holes in it. And that's what I'm going to have to do to make this setup work. Anyway, we got that. So I know my piece of plywood is square, but I'm still going to double check and use this to make sure it stays square. I'm getting older, it's getting hard for me to see, so sometimes you really gotta get in there and check it out and go by feel a little bit. But that is square, and it's doing exactly what I thought. It's flushed right out with the edge. That's flushed out with the edge. Like I say, I knew my piece of 1/4 inch was square, but sometimes even if you know something, it's better to double check. Because sometimes you don't know all that you think you know. But anyway, we double checked that. We got our board on there. That is square. We know everything is set up right for us. We're gonna set this up. Like I say, I'm gonna do a dry fit because I'm not actually ready to build these yet. I gotta do a little more sanding on the panels. I just wanted to show y'all this little trick. this is going to be a reversed panel door. It's a flat panel door, but I used actual wood, not plywood. I used actual wood for the center panel. So normally if you use plywood, you got a 1/4 inch thick panel. You don't want plain wood down that far, so I've got what is called a reverse panel. That's going to be the front of the door. That's a flat panel. That's going to be the back of the door. It's a reverse panel because it's got the cove on the back side to flatten it down where it'll fit in that groove. And the back of the door is actually flush with the back of the frame. Or the panel is flush with the back of the door frame. Anyway, it's late at night. I'm getting tongue-tied, so y'all kind of bear with me there. Now what I'm going to do here, I've got a wedge set up. I cut these out of the same board, and it's just a wedge. What I'm going to do, I'm going to I've got this right here. It's going to go against the door to keep me from boogering up this edge when I tap my wedge in. So I'm going to set this thing up just like that. And I'm going to screw this piece off. If I can make my hand work right. I'll put 3 in it. You need to put enough screws so it don't wedge itself out of there. Now, if you're going to use this, you see the way I got it set up. I've got my L set right there, and I've got my wedge to go in right there. And you can see already what's going to happen. I'm going to tap that wedge in, and it'll tighten it up. When I tap that wedge, I'm tapping this way. That's pushing the door this way, so it's pushing it into the jig to keep it square. You don't want to tap it the other way. It'll pull it out of square. I'm just going to throw a couple more screws in this. So if I was actually fixing to put this door together, I would glue it up, put it together, put it in here, set it square, put my board right there, and then just when you tap one, you got to make sure. Sometimes the other one will spring out. Just tap them a little bit on each one. And if your door's not sitting quite right, you can take your hammer. Don't want to smack it real hard. Just do a light little tap. If you need to hit it any harder than that, say you a backer board or something, and tap it in. You can tap the wood a little bit, but you don't want to beat it up too hard. So if you really got to give it a little smack, that's what you do. Make sure everything tightens up and pulls where you need it. Now I'm good and tight. I can shoot that off. Once it's shot off, you can come back, hold your door so you don't knock it out of square, and just pop your little wedges loose. And that's your door. Now it's a lot easier to use the clamps. A lot easier. But if you don't have any clamps, if you're trying to get by with what you got, or like I say, you don't have clamps long enough for something, you need to rig something up to clamp something in, and your clamps ain't long enough, this is a little trick that you might can turn around and use. But anyway, that's what I wanted to do tonight. Give y'all something to think about. I'm shooting screws everywhere across there. Take this thing back apart. I'm going to use my clamps when I actually build these doors. I just wanted to show y'all that. And get back on my videos. I got a big mess around here. Y'all excuse the mess. I got a little bit of construction fixing to go on there. Believe it or not, I actually cleaned up a little bit today, so this ain't too bad right now. I've always got a mess going on sometimes. Sometimes it bees that way. But anyway, I appreciate y'all watching. If y'all like the video, go ahead and subscribe. I need more subscribers. So, I appreciate y'all watching. Y'all have a good one, and I'll see you on the next one.